Well, fears are growing that we could be heading towards another global economic crisis. Let's see if that's Alan Kohler's view. He's the host of Inside Business and he joins us now from Melbourne. So, Alan, is this the start of GFC Mark II?
Well, it could well be. Certainly the markets are concerned about a recession in the US and in particular, I guess, the prospect of a global recession coming out of the US. So to that extent, that's what it's about. Remember that the GFC in 2008 was basically a credit crisis that turned into a recession that was caused by the credit squeeze that occurred. At this stage, it isn't a credit squeeze, but the problem in Europe is the fear that that's what will happen if Italy defaults or if Spain gets into trouble, that there will be a credit squeeze caused in the same way as what occurred in 2008 when Lehman Brothers went broke. So there's kind of two different things going on. There's fear of a credit crisis caused in Europe, but the near certainty really of a recession in the US. And I guess the credit crisis issue about Europe is just about how deep will the recession in the US be.
And is there anything out there on the horizon that can change this mood of doom and gloom?
A lot of talk now about what's called QE3. QE stands for quantitative easing, which is basically the Federal Reserve of the US printing money. We had QE1, QE2 earlier this year, end of last year, $600 billion worth of new money being printed, flooded into the markets. Now there's a suggestion that maybe what the Fed will have to do is QE3, more money printing, more dropping money from helicopters, trying to get the economies going again. And I think really that's about it. The only thing they can do is print some more dough.
Of course, we are seeing sharp falls here in our markets, but how much are our fortunes tied to what's happening in Wall Street and in Europe? To a certain extent, can't we run our own race here?
Not in the share markets. Financial markets are global now. Basically, when investors do something, it happens all over the world. So, you know, there's really, in fact, I mean, our market tends to perform worse than Wall Street because of what's going on with the dollar as well. You know, the dollar, the move in the dollar today is extraordinary. You know, it's all about people just wanting to get risk out of their portfolios, investors just wanting to reduce risk. So, you know, look, I mean, the truth is we are obviously tied to China. We're much more interested in what's going on in China these days than America and Europe, but economically, but the market's just one market.
Alan Kohler, thank you.
My pleasure.